तले स्वयं रूपात् रामंजन ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तां सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So we are reading from Srimad Nectar of Instructions, Upadesha Amritam. Okay. We are in the fourth and fifth sloka today. So the last two classes, we have seen the first two slokas and the preface, specifically focusing on what is the instructions from Rupa Goswami, our Paramacharya, where Srila Prabhupada also mentions that for all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Rupa Goswami is our uh, first level Acharya, Paramacharya, and then from him, we are taking up all the other instructions. So it is like directly instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Mahaprabhu's instructions. Rupa Goswami has given it, and then whomsoever want to improve on their Krishna consciousness, the most important thing is the attitude part. So if their attitude is perfect, then their Krishna consciousness will grow. So the attitude of the person is the very important factor. And then in the first sloka, most importantly, controlling the senses, controlling the urge of the different senses is the prime importance for growing of the Krishna conscious way or the bhakti or the Uttama bhakti. So that is the first sloka. Second and third is more about what is to be done and what is not to be done. So second sloka focuses on from a devotional pure service perspective, what are all the activities that if we do, what will happen? So we should avoid that. Third sloka is we must do so that it will increase our Krishna conscious life. It will increase our bhakti, which is more from the favorable perspective. So fourth is also kind of same thing from um, uh, from the growth perspective, something kind of nourishment. Like you try to grow your bhakti lata bijam, the seed is growing, and then you have to remove all the weeds, you have to remove all the anarthas, you have to remove anarthas and weeds so that your bhakti plant, bhakti creeper will grow nicely, and you try to nourish with various kinds of water and other facilities, sunlight and other facilities. But above that also some extra additional thing is required. That is what is the fourth sloka, which will give you the symptoms. Symptoms of love means how well the love and affection between the devotees and between the devotee and the Bhagavan or the Supreme Lord is giving more of that affection part. Okay, so that is why it is very nice, and that loving exchange should be there. Okay, so loving exchange is important because that Jivatma anyway it needs love. So whether that Jivatma is in any kind of a material body, whether it's a animal body or a human body or any kind of a body, in Tamil in Sanskrit it's called Anyonyam. Anyonyam means relationship. Like you have one-on-one relationship, Anyonyam, with the particular person. Then with that love and affection only you will be able to survive. In fact, survival itself requires Anyonyam. Anyonyam means that relationship. Okay, you cannot say I will live alone. No, that is not possible. So what our acharyas recommend, Anyonyam with the Supreme Lord is only eternal. Anyonyam or relationship with the Bhagavan is the permanent one, and that relationship we have to awaken. For that, the relationship with the devotees also is very important, so that will help us to bind or bond with each other. Otherwise, we are already having so much of distractions and so much of other things that is happening in our life through the material conditioning that we have. So the more and more we are intact or we are connected with our like-minded devotees who will help us to grow in our path, and that is most important. Okay, that is the foundation for the fourth sloka. We'll get into the fourth sloka, then we'll get into other sections quickly. Okay, fourth sloka. Dadadi pradignati gugyam agyatam prichati bhunte bhojasaiva sadvidam priti lakshana. So priti lakshana, priti means that loving affection. Okay, so lakshana means the symptoms. Again, the 6 means. Okay. offer gifts in charity. Charity here means not that okay, I have so much money, let I'm giving it for somebody. I have so much of thing, let me give. No, this charity is more of exchange. Some devotees will also give it to us, and we also give it. It is more of where when you go to any elder's home or relative's home or during any function or anything, you have such loving exchange of some gifts. It is more of a material objective perspective, but that material object doesn't matter. What is more important is the loving exchange that happens. Okay, so accepting is also okay. Pratigrignati means return. Okay, in nowadays we have this return gift concept, right? You go to any function or anything, you give some gift, and they also will give some. Those days there's nothing called return gift. All that they do is just some fruit, some coconut, and uh, some basic things. That's all, right? But nowadays it has become mandatory for anything and everything. You should prepare even for normal birthday. This one also you should. So otherwise that expectation is growing in material life. Okay, the same thing applies in a spiritual life, but this is more with love and affection. Why? Because that will keep us that bonding. Okay. The third important point is the confidential topics. Why? Because when we this material world is full of hypocrisy. Prabhupada uses the word hypocrisy. Everybody are 99% hypocrisy, because the moment you go and reveal something to them, they immediately think, they just become judgmental. They start talking about so many things, and then they'll give you one chapa, one mark. Okay, this person is like that. This is how it is happening. But among devotees, it is always better that we share our personal things where it will improve our person. Sometimes people will say, no, with devotees only spiritual topics. Yes, with devotees only spiritual topics, but if there is an impediment, if there is an issue that will help us to resolve, then we need to see that how we really reveal, and then we get some kind of guidance or some kind of a relief, right? Sometimes we just start with 1 second. So it is very important that we discuss confidential. Confidential here means two types of things. One is our personal thing which will grow. Second one is anything that is related to Krishna, which is like kind of you want some clarification, something which will help you to understand better. This is told in Bhagavatam this way. What is that? Which prayer should I read? How do I understood this? So like that, if there are some specific topics that you want to discuss, please go ahead. That is a third one. Okay, expense. And then Bhunte Bojeswe. So very important, prasadam. Okay, so wherever we go or wherever we have anything, the importance of Bhunte Bojeswa. So eating as well as feeding. Feeding is also very important, right? So when you have devotees or when you have, this is all normal. I mean, even in materialist life, when you go to your friend's house or relative's house, by default, it is like, if you go on that particular time, definitely you will have to partake prasadam also. So that is also very important. So this is what Sadvidim Preeti Lakshanam. So Lakshanam means the same terms, it will improve what is the main goal? How do I improve my bhakti? So one, exchange between the Supreme Lord and yourself through various sadhana practices. Two, how you exchange between how do you exchange between the devotees? Because Krishna will see how well we are connected with the devotees. Okay, so that is why it is very important that we are doing this kind of exchanges. Okay, so that exchanges will improve on our sadhana bhakti. Okay, what is the primary goal? How do I improve my sadhana bhakti? Okay, let's read the purport quickly. Yeah. Can somebody want to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I will read. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform devotional activities in the association of other devotees. There are 6 kinds of activities: giving charity to the devotees, accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return, opening one's mind to the devotees, inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord, honoring prasada or spiritual food given by the devotees, and feeding the devotees with prasada. An experienced devotee explains, and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guhyam Akyati Prachati. When a devotee distributes prasada, remnants of food offered to Supreme Personality of Godhead. In order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasada as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasada, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhunkte Bhojayati Chaiva. Can I continue, Prabhuji? Even in ordinary social activities,
Yes, Mataji.
these six types of dealings between two loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel and over the feast openly expresses what he wishes to do. He then inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, whenever there is a dealing of preeti or love in intimate dealings, these six activities are executed. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees. Sangha Tyagat Satavritte. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these six kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single-handedly because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasada. Although most of our members come from the higher rungs of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasada we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna consciousness activities. The life of Krishna consciousness society is nourished by these six types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance.
Thank you, Mataji. So let's see. I want to hear from devotees. What is the kind of loving exchange that we do normally when somebody comes to your home? What and all things we can do? One is prasadam. Then anybody just share whatever you can do, whatever you do.
We ask about their well-being, Prabhuji.
We ask about their well-being. Okay. Then
we offer them a seat.
we offer them a sweet seat, proper seat, asanam. Okay.
We make sure everybody is engaged in a good conversation so that they're not neglected out,
Yes, correct. Perfect. Yes. Usually in a big family gathering or somebody, the children will be left out, or the elders will be left out, or sometimes if there is a dominance of Mataji's group and then one Prabhuji will be alone, sitting alone, or the other way also. A lot of Prabhujis together, and the Matajis go and then they will be. So we have to ensure that all are in perfect, Prabhu. Very nice. Yes.
Inquiring about how I can inspire, how can I aspire.
So inquiry includes what is their well-being, how can we help them, and then how can we try to see grow together. Okay. Anything?
Minimally offering a glass of water.
Yes, glass of water. Yes, glass of water. Okay.
Offering some gifts.
Offering some gifts. Yes, we can give some gift also back and forth. Yeah. Only thing is we have to be careful. We will never should not get into a kind of material thing of calculating the price, seeing what is it, big size, this and all. But normally whatever is given is we have to give in our own our capacity, and then whatever we take also, we should not immediately do that any kind of a judgmental calculation, material calculation. Okay. Then
asking for suggestions, like based on their experience in even for material world, like how do we do
Yes,
it
yes.
at
We
this
can
stage?
seek suggestions. Yes. Yes.
That, always honoring the host, because without him, we may not be able to gather together.
Correct. Honoring the host. Yes, yes. Okay. Thank you. And one more thing, usually our acharyas recommend is whatever be our situation, we should have that smiling face. See, we might be in some very difficult situation or something, but when the host comes, we should not pour our, yes, we can pour it to them little later, but we should have that smiling face so that the greeting requires happiness to be shown out. Then with that happiness only, everything will start. So Prabhupada will usually say, you should smile first, right? So first is smiling and then followed by all the other things you mentioned. Then later on you can reveal whatever you have and then we can take. Nice, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. Okay, continue. Prabhuji, you can continue the purport. Prabhupada is using nice word. The life of Krishna conscious society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among members. Therefore, people must be given chance to associate with devotees in the ISKCON because simply by reciprocating 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. This is very important. So, ordinary man can full means even for others also. So, when you do the same for devotees, we should maintain the same for others also because as Krishna's, Mahaprabhu's messenger or Mahaprabhu, this one, our duty is to ensure that every living entity is Krishna consciousness is awakened. So primarily, one we do for all the devotees. Secondarily, we should do the same for others also. Whomsoever comes, we should ensure that they are all properly Aditi Devo Bhava, so that they are also their dormant Krishna consciousness, which means they are already Krishna consciousness because they are bandha, they are bounded by materialistic desires, materialistic karma, so many other things. Their Krishna consciousness is not awakened. So it is our duty to try to make an attempt to revive them. Okay. Yeah. Continue, Prabhuji.
I will read, Prabhu.
Yes,
In
Madam.
Bhagavad Gita 2.62, it is stated, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. One's desires and the ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company, and if an ordinary man associates with the devotee, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it is already developed to some extent. When the living entity takes a human body, it is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.107. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabhu Naya. Sadhya Kabhu Naya. Shravandi Siddha Chitte Karaye Udaye. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the heart of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by the hearing and chanting, the living entity naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in the every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam, one's heart is directly purified and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart, it is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first stanza of his Sri Shikshashtakam, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vidhu Jivanam. Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnatmata Manam Sarvatam Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of the conditional life of repeating birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for the humanity at large because it spreads the ray of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Not only is the chanter of the Maha Mantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Thank you,
is
Mataji.
also pleased.
Thank you. So, importance of Sankirtana movement, and then most importantly, the what is that we are trying to do is awakening the pure love of God, awakening the dormant Krishna consciousness in everybody, and then our Krishna consciousness will help by through the Cheto Darpana Machanam, by cleaning the material. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Continue, Prabhuji. You can continue from here. Even the souls embodied.
I'll read Prabhuji.
Yes, sir.
Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridasa Thakur said that the chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest part of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jarikanda. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtana. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, and dogs to entice them to dance, but by chanting the holy names of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of contributing or giving charity, the Dati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratignati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guhyam Akhyati Prachati principle can be served. The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feast in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor prasada, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with prasada. In this way, both the members of the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, gnanis, karmis, and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with the devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is the special function of human society, and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious system. In all parts of the world, however downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6, Savai Pumsan Paro Dharma Yato Bhaktir Adok Saje Ahituki apra, Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. The supreme occupation dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self.
Thank you, Prabhu. So nice section. This also importance of Prabhupada giving that one thing Prabhupada also mentions, like even our seniors, even among devotees, when we try to sit and talk, Pratigarignati, sitting and talking, we should not, oh, I'm talking about devotees only, it is only material. So that also we should ensure that, we should not getting into the Krishna conscious prajalpa. Okay, there's something called as Krishna conscious, which means among devotees itself, we sit and talk about another devotee trying to what do you say? That kind of identifying what happened this one. So that is also we should not do. Okay, so that is inquire Krishna conscious movement. Open his mind and not the situation will. Okay, so that is more important. Okay. Then this section is all about importance of human life, about the religious principles that we need to follow, irrespective of whatever be the situation, whatever be the this one. Animal society doesn't have. Okay. Yeah, good. Samepam Sampara Dharma Edo Bhakti. This sloka is also nice. Okay, continue. Any
Can
other
I read?
Prabhuji's?
Can I read?
Prabhu. Yeah.
If the members of the human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna conscious movement not to speak to the impersonalist Mayavadis, who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world is full of Mayavadis and atheists, and the political parties of the world take advantage of the Mayavada and other aesthetic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even break a strong party to oppose the Krishna conscious movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want Krishna conscious movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Just such is the policy of the atheists. There's no benefit in feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking milk and banana, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam visa vadadanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the serpent, Mayavadis, and Karmis. Such disclosure will never help. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend invitation to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitation, for by which intimate intermingling we may become affected by the atheistic mentality, Sangat Sanjayate Kama. It is negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving from giving anything to or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and atheists. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also warned Visayara Anna Kaile Dusta Haya Mana. By eating food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna conscious movement. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheists. Should I continue, Guru? Or-
Yeah, the last line also finished.
Okay, indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary people who are too addicted to material sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Super. Last line is very important. Even for devotees, when somebody is very much affected to material sensibility, we should avoid them. Okay. So this section is also very important. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Very important because in the mood of preaching or in the mood of thinking, okay, let me befriend them so that I will help them to become Krishna conscious. We will fall into that trap. Okay, so by just trying to make them comfortable, we will try to talk their own topics. Okay, for example, somebody likes some cinema, somebody likes some movie, somebody likes talking about Singapore politics. So we will try to just create that conversation and then make them like, okay, like so that they will. So our original intention is right, our original mood was right, our goal was correct. But if we are not strong, we are not this one. Actually, we will fall into that trap. Okay, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. Because that mentality is more towards this one. That is why it requires a lot of our strong sadhana. So we should draw the line correctly, and then we should ensure that no, we should come out of it, not getting too much into it, but at the same time, just to give them that comfortability, you can just talk and then come out. But we have to be very, because that negative injection will affect us. Okay, that's what Prabhupada is also mentioning as Mayavadis. But generally, it applies to anything and everybody. So we also we have to be little, not a bit careful. We have to be very very careful. Okay. Okay. Last.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Sudhir Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither neophyte nor a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, making friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demonic. In this verse, there is a brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set such an example in his life. When he decided to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earnings to Krishna's service and 25% to his relative, and kept 25% for personal emergencies. This example should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of Dadati. In the next verse,
Prabhupada's, when during Prabhupada's time, all his disciples, no, including my Guru Maharaj, everybody, no, they'll give the entire salary or whatever thing to Prabhupada. Okay, this we cannot do it now, right? We cannot, in the sense we are, even I'm telling you, family people, Grahasthas also during Prabhupada time, they give the entire amount. And Prabhupada will say, okay, keep this, keep this, keep this. And then Prabhupada will take care of their personal needs and everything. And then they will be taken care. But now we are so fearful, right? Now we don't know what will happen. We'll have this, I have to take. Okay. And every time whenever Deviki Prabhu announces in the class, this 50% will always come into our mind. 50% to the to Krishna service, and then remaining 50% for us, like our family and our this one. Okay. So, but we'll have to, somebody will say, Prabhu, those are different days. Now it is all practical. Every life, every time it is only relatively we have to see. Okay. But what is that we are able to do? We should be able to.
Prabhu, can I inquire?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, in this text and I think previous text, they also mention about really avoiding non-devotees. How do you really define devotees? Because it's like some people you must truly avoid. And then nowadays we don't see many Mayavadis or what, I mean, in our mix, there are people who proclaim they were devotees, they come into our midst. And how do we really avoid these people? Because even when we avoid, we also knock off others who has aspiration to become devotee.
Correct. Nice question, Prabhu. So, see, during the Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada wants to give that terminology as Mayavadis, because that time Prabhupada wanted to give this so that when his disciples and people go out and preach and all, we have to be careful so that they. But for us, we have to ensure that here Mayavadi means for us practically from a context perspective, anybody and everybody that we try to associate and then get one. We have to initially when we try to start interacting with them, we may not know their intention. They might be very nice people, they might be this one, but more and more we start interacting, and then when you try to talk about Krishna Katha, we will have to see whether how much taste they have. If they are not inclined, if they are not following up, they are saying no, let me do this, and they still want to continue their own topics, but still they want to maintain the relationship only for that purpose, then we will start slowly discontinuing the association. But they are still interested, but it will take some more time for them, but little more push is required. but they are very sincere. If you are able to give that kind of understanding and judge, and then make a judgment that yes, they are in this one, then you continue. So that at some point of the time, they will be definitely able to come. But that time also, but we need to be very careful that not to associate too much where we are getting affected, but at the same time we keep going. So you need to do that that analysis. Initially, it may be tough, but one or two instances or 3-4 instances, then if you are able to see them, then they are interested, then you can continue. Otherwise, just discontinue. That's all.
Thank you, Prabhu.
It happens many times. I've seen during Janmashtami alone, somebody will come, and during some special functions alone come, and we'll also greet them for Diwali. We'll also greet them for Pongal. We will also treat them for some this one. But after that, that's all. They will disappear. So some will come only during a great Holi festival. Only for Holi means the entire crowd will come. So for some it is only prasadam. For some it is only just for some specific needs they will try to interact. So we will be able to. We should be able to identify them and then continue with. Okay.
Actually, I just wanted to add to that, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhu.
There are two things, right? One is giving association, one is taking association. We should, I mean, if I take an example of, for example, yourself or Devkinandan Prabhuji, you are more giving association to people. You are not taking association from people, for example, who are neophytes or who are non-devotees. You're in that mode of giving association, talking about Krishna. I don't think anybody goes to Devkinandan Prabhu and starts talking about politics or cricket, because they know that he will not encourage those talks, and that's not probably the right forum, right? So we always take association, and he always gives association. So, and he's giving association to non-devotees also, right? He's not asking them whether you're a devotee or not. He's always giving association through kirtan, through katha, through talking about Krishna. So that could be also one way to think about it, that are we taking association of non-devotees or are we giving association to the non-devotees? If we are giving association by talking about Krishna, by giving Krishna to them in form of Krishna Prasad, by giving Krishna to them in form of Krishna Katha or Kirtan, then I think we should be fine. By distributing books, for example.
Yeah, even Devaki Prabhu or whomsoever, even yourself, whomsoever, we have to interact. It's not that we are not going to fully say no, but when we interact with them, we need to be like talking specifically or identifying what exactly the need, and then talk about it. Then we should be okay.
Yeah. Yes, probably. Thank you.
Prabhu, in the same aspect, if one is just giving and giving and giving, but he's not receiving any reciprocation, then there's a sign that the other person is just there to listen and he's not, so that could also be a situation. And we become very tired spending a lot of time with,
Yes, that is also there. So it is only one way traffic. So if you don't get it back, then we will never. So usually it will happen in doing preaching when we try to do this, then they'll run away. They'll not pick your calls. They will not attend. So then you will know that okay, it is like that. It's okay.
So Prabhuji, but it is said like when we become a devotee, we are in under Krishna consciousness. We are only supposed to give, and we are only supposed to bring people to Krishna consciousness. Even if they are not giving back, doesn't matter. We are not in the mode to get something from them. We are only in the mode to give them something so that we can bring them to Krishna consciousness and they can change their life the way we have changed our life. So our motive should be, it's not that whether the person is devotee or non-devotee, but everybody has Paramatma in their heart, and everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. So our motive should be to bring them to Krishna consciousness. We should try, but it's not that if we keep on trying and we are seeing that that person is not interested at all in the Krishna consciousness, then we should put our feedback and not telling them regarding, because it's one of the 10 offenses, right? The person whom you see that if the person is interested to come in Krishna consciousness, we should try hard for them. If you understand, because since we are in Krishna consciousness, we know we can understand the person who is interested and who is not interested. Accordingly, we should try hard, and we could try to help them to bring them to Krishna consciousness. If the person is not interested, we pray to Krishna that Krishna, please help him or her to come to Krishna consciousness. That only we can do, Prabhuji. But we are not there to judge people ki whether he or she is Krishna conscious, he is doing this or he is doing that. It all Krishna's mercy, Prabhuji. So this is what I wanted to say. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Prabhuji,
Mataji?
I have a question on the same. So, for example, for 10 years, they have been coming like for the festivals and all, like party kind. And then, though though we know that they are not that interested, so should we slowly like deassociate with them, or how do we take that time?
Not necessarily we should cut it off completely, Mataji. We can continue. I mean, it is not that, because they have been coming there for a long time. For some, it will take more time. For some, it will not come at all. But still, all that we have to do is just say, we have to limit it out so that not getting into too much. They have been there for a long time. I know even in our center, I know some of them will come for only for specific times. We have met them, some of them. So it will let them come and let them go. It's okay. And just
It's like
limit.
they like to come and talk to us and spend time with us, but it's not like they wanted to be like serious in the Krishna consciousness. So how do we handle that?
That's why don't take too much time for them. I mean, anyway, all that you have to is only giving, right? So you're only going to give, you're not going to take anything, but you just give them that little bit time, at least for a few minutes of some time, so that at least if you ignore them, then they will get into a different direction. Okay, so we should not ignore also, but at the same time, we should give them a little bit time for that. That's all. So you have to be a little more compassionate on them. That's all. It is not that it will happen. You've been knowing them for 10 years, but still they are not. That's okay. I mean, telling this one. To answer other Mataji's, Prabhuji's, yes, Mataji, sorry.
Sometimes we also need to be with them because of the kids.
Yes. You have to sit with the parents, teachers meeting, you have to be with children, you have to meet them. Yeah, it will happen. It will always happen.
Like children can get along each other with their kids.
Correct. It requires that association also. But you need to identify specific topics, what interests them, and then accordingly we need to keep talking and see how it happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Prabhu, sorry.
Continue.
Prabhu, sorry to bring this issue, but then to bring up this discussion. But actually, surprisingly, Prabhu, among Indians, a lot of them know about Hare Krishna. When we talk to them, they also know I know Hare Krishna. So and even non-Indians, like Chinese, also know about a lot of things about Krishna consciousness and all that. So surprisingly, everybody knows. It's just that some people don't want to engage, and that's why I'm trying to emphasize that we cannot spend time with everyone. It's just that we have to identify who we can progress together, because our life is so limited, and that's what everybody is trying to do. Even senior devotees are also trying to achieve. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just wanted to continue with this topic that as Mataji was telling that some people are those who are not, they are just visitors for the chit chat or just say hi, hello, but they are not really deep into the Krishna consciousness. But they are whenever they visit, they just follow. They check that offering prasadam, or they follow the prayers and everything. So is it still okay that we can continue with such a friends that or sometimes some childhood friends we are connected with them? So is it okay even though they are not in Krishna consciousness, but
You can limit, Mataji. It's not because, yes, they have been with you life and soul for so many years, and they have been part and parcel of your happiness and sorrow, and then this one also, even relatives also. But slowly, what is the objective? So what Rupa Goswami here means objectively, in next 15 years, next 20 years, what is that will take you to improve on your spiritual sadhana? What is that will improve on your growth? Then focus on that. So there will be the check and balance we need to manage so that it will improve on our sadhana. Because after many years, what is the wealth? After 80 years, when we sit and think about, oh, I had this association, I had this, that now, then the more and more time you would have spent there, what is the use? It may not be really useful. So, but you can cherish it. Wow, it was so nice. It was so high. This one, So we had one WhatsApp group of our old school group. I still have I have a school group, I have a college group, then I have another college group. I have so many groups. But in that group, if you see, they'll just keep posting 25 years ago, somebody had, we went there. So when I try to recollect that, I will like, it gives a lot of happiness. Wow. But what is the use? Nothing. Actually, we have wasted time. So that way we see that, we have to make that part slowly, and then you can decide on it.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
it's more like
Objective is, yeah.
We concentrate more on how we become from an Kanishta to Madhyama Adhikari or to Uttama Adhikari. I mean, that level we grow, whereas the other circles, when they approach us or when they talk or when they will not do engaged us in this kind of activities. And rather than we neglecting them, they will also come to us only when this kind of topics are there. Maybe
Correct.
some inquiring about some spiritual things or inquiring about some stories about or information about Krishna or the programs, and this kind of things only will be there in our talk. It's more that we should concentrate on our own sadhana.
Correct. One important point, like one Mataji was mentioning, what is that Krishna, when Poonam Mataji was mentioning, what is that we try to do, not to just Krishna, this one. Most important thing that usually Devika Prabhu used to tell to me is, Prabhu, when we do this one, try to identify what is the good quality of that person. Even though he is not Krishna consciousness, even though he is fully Prajalpa, this one, there will be something good that we can take. So one is taking and giving. So we might say, oh, I'm only giving, what is the use? No. That particular personality will have some good quality. It is not maybe directly related to Krishna consciousness, but he might be very honest, he might be truthful, he might be hardworking, he might be. So among the non-devotees, when we try to talk, we identify what is that good quality and take that good quality that we can embed into our way of living. So when we try to see that they are always nice, they speak very nicely. They see some of the my relatives, some of them are so nice that when you come, they will do hospitality like nobody else. I used to think, wow, this person, if he becomes Krishna conscious, how it will be. So my one mama, we go to their house, my chachi, they'll feed us like anything. So, but they still feel like, it is too much for them to take up Krishna. They're happy. They will do everything. They will do all the festival, everything. But for them, still it is like not fully into them. So then what we used to see, the same person is. So if you are able to identify that good quality among others, you can take that. Okay, it's not that you are always giving it. You can also take that. So it is not, you have to see that differentiation, not only giving, but also taking. Okay. Clear?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Well, during my preaching day, 20 years back, Sugopi, my wife, used to preach to one street neighbor. She was so nice. She used to come to our place, everything for 2 years, 3 years. And at some point of time, her family was ready to get initiation and all. And it was so nice. Suddenly, for 1 week, they were not there. And we couldn't realize where they went and all. And then after that, suddenly, they went to some other place and they got initiation in Sri Sampradaya. Okay, that because their ancestral, this one is all from their family, their Sri Sampradaya. And we were like shocked because my Sugopi was like completely shocked. What is this? How can it happen? We gave so much of association. We did them. In fact, we gave them prasadam. We used to do cooking. We used to so much of thing. And then one sudden day, they very coolly, they come and say, we met our Acharya in Kanchipuram, and they said they appreciated our thing. When then they asked, do you want to take this one, Diksha from this one? Then they were like, because they are already totally changed and they are completely pure, everything. Immediately that Acharya also said, okay, I'll give you. And then they were like, and then afterwards, slowly, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they started. Then we were like a little bit shocked. I mean, telling you, like, this happened 20 years ago. We were like, wow, what is happening? Then we realized the mistake. We gave so much of things. They are happy in everything, but Krishna had some other plan, and then they went into this one. So it will happen. It will happen, and then we have to see how well we are able. This will happen to anybody and everybody also in different contexts, different this one also. So we need to be a little more careful. And then it is not, it is, then our Guru Maharaj said, it's okay. I mean, anyway, they are Krishna consciousness is revived through another Sampradaya. That is okay. At least they are. So whatever thing we have done our duty, that's all. So let's keep going. Okay. So in that way also we have to see how it, we'll have to see. Okay.
Here we can be a little bit selfish, right, Prabhuji? Like you said, even relatives, even my family members, all actually not really into Krishna consciousness, even though they know that we are actually following. So I am a little bit selfish here, saying that you don't disturb me and my family. You know how you are. It's okay. So we have to be like that, right, Prabhuji? Because the children should not be at this teenage. They should not be like distracted or demotivated because we cannot avoid going home and attending those functions and all, even though we don't eat what they are giving. But still, we cannot avoid, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah. You have to be a little more careful because you have a lot of family functions, family events coming also next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So you need to maintain that relationship, but at the same time, not to cut it out totally.
Yeah, because it's relatives again,
Yeah,
like brother.
yeah.
It also probably, like when we do the engagement, right? We represent this society or this movement or this sampradaya. I mean to say.
Yes.
We should not give any image or perception to them that, oh, these people are like that. I mean, what our behavior, right? So it
Correct.
also be very soft. I mean, you rightly said we should not cut or say very harsh that, okay, you keep like this and I will do like this. But
Correct.
that's what my.
Nowadays, when we go to our family function, they all know immediately, hey, he has come, sit, and then they will. So in a way, they are all okay. I mean, so it will take time, but it's okay. So when we go to marriage functions, immediately before that itself, they'll call and tell, okay, I have arranged special food for you, and somebody else is going to cook, or you come and cook. So like that and all, it has happened now. So it will take time, but it's okay. I mean,
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, we also observe that one, like amongst our friend circle also here, they all know now that what are our food restrictions. So previously they used to, arrange something different for us and different for them, all that. But now they had started like, it's okay. Once a while we can just all can have the same food what you can eat, and so in that way you all can you can eat all kind of food like that. They had improved in their attitude for our restrictions of food and all that, and they do even not talk those mundane things which one we might not like it. That's what our observation is.
they will
It
try
was
to
not
please
Yes,
us.
previously like that,
yeah,
but
Prabhuji, this is same with what I felt, Prabhuji. Ki whatever functions what I am attending, everybody knows that Mataji doesn't take an onion and garlic, and there's always special treatment has been given, special arrangement has been made for us. That person is not eating onion garlic, so special things are being made for them.
Yeah.
Like I was traveling, Prabhuji, we had Ekadashi there only, so a special sagar was made for us. We 7-8 people we were doing Ekadashi, so we all had that special food. So so
like
like that.
previously they used to avoid actually
Yeah.
इनको बुलाना ही नहीं है, but now after associating so many times they realize that these people are different. Their little bit restrictions are there, but their association of is good. So
Yeah.
they're not even avoiding us, but in fact taking care of us
Yeah.
properly. So
Not
sometimes we
avoiding
feel
Mataji.
that yeah,
We are getting
yeah,
another type of
yeah,
respect we are getting.
attend,
We
yes,
are,
yes,
this is a kind of tapasya we are doing, Mataji. This is all we are
yeah,
doing for Krishna. It's not that for our sake we are doing. This is what Krishna doesn't like, so we are not taking that. Krishna cannot have, we are not having that. This is what our feeling is. So the same way, so Krishna makes everything means what we say, not comfortable, makes everything going like that. What special word I can use it? I am not making it, but
Steady.
yeah, everything is made feasible for us, Mataji.
What
Yeah,
is Sanskrit word? The previous sloka we saw that. What is that Sanskrit word?
yeah, that word I'm not getting, Prabhuji.
Find out immediately. Go to the third sloka, first word.
Prabhuji, I don't have the book, Prabhuji.
Yeah, can somebody quickly find out what is the first word in third sloka?
Utsahana.
Sorry. No.
Prajalpa is it, Prabhuji? Second sloka.
Wait. Sorry. Third sloka. Wait. Let me take.
Utsahana nischaya
Okay, it is not in this. Sorry. I was referring to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sorry. I was referring to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. Not in this one. Sorry. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that word is there. It's called as Anukulyam. Okay.
Oh.
Anukulyam means that which is favorable, and Pratikulyam. Anukulyam means that is favorable, we take it. Pratikulyam means that which is not favorable, we will just reveal it. I mean, just leave it out.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Done.
Okay, another 15 minutes. We'll quickly read through the fifth sloka also. Just it doesn't take much time. We'll finish it by another half an hour. Okay, 9:30 we'll finish. Yeah. Translation. Fifth sloka translation. Yeah, Prabhuji, is anybody can read this translation? Yeah, Mataji, go ahead. Jump. Yeah.
One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, that is Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that uh, pure devotee who is advanced in the undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Purport also, Prabhu?
Yeah. The word Anya Nindati. Okay, the word Anya Nindati. Ninda means blasphemy or trying to this one. Anya Nindati is very important. Continue. Sorry.
Okay. In order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous verse, one must select proper persons with careful discrimination. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore advises that we should meet with the Vaishnavas in an appropriate way, according to their particular status. In this verse, he tells us how to deal with three types of devotees: the Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The Kanishta Adhikari is the neophyte who has received the Harinam initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. One should respect such a person within his mind as a Kanishta Vaishnava. A Madhyam Adhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in transcendental loving service of Lord. The Madhyama Adhikari should be considered to be situated midway in the devotional service. The Uttama Adhikari or highest devotee is one who is very advanced in devotional service, and Uttama Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, the association and the service of such uh, Bhagavata or perfect Vaishnavas are most desirable. One should not remain a Kanishta Adhikari, one who is situated on the lowest platform of devotional service and is interested only in worshipping the deity in the temple. Such a devotee is described in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. आ- आचार्यम् एव हर्ये पूजं ये श्रद्धये हते नातद्भक्तेषु चानयेषु स भक्ता smritaha. A person who is very faithful, engaged in the worship of the deities in the temple, who does not know how to behave towards devotee or people in general, is called Prakrita Bhakta or Kanishta Adhikari. One therefore has to raise himself from the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyama Adhikari. The Madhyama Adhikari is described in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.46 in this way. ईश्वरः तदाधीनेषु भालिसेषु द्विसत्सु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपोपेक्षा karoti samadhyamaha. The Madhyama Adhikari is the devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love. makes friends with the Lord's devotee, is merciful to the ignorant, and avoids those who are envious by nature. This is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in this verse, Srila Goswami has advised us how to treat various devotees. We can see from practical experience that there are different types of Vaishnavas.
Mataji, we can
The
stop here.
Prakrit-
1 second, Mataji.
Okay,
Sorry.
bro.
So
Okay,
this
bro.
also we can put it in one table. What is Uttamadhikari, what is Madhyamadhikari, and what is Kanishtakadhikari. So don't generally when you go to this set of sloka. So um, till the previous sloka, till fourth sloka, it is more about self. Identifying what is that what we have to do from fifth to sixth, seventh and onwards. What is focus is about identifying that particular set of devotees to take association to identify what and also do some self introspection. Where are we? How am I going to do? Okay, so this is more from a classification and categorization perspective, so that we will know in which state we are. How do I improve myself? Okay, so Prabhupada used to say, don't think that you are already in Uttama state, then that is the biggest to fall. And always don't think that you are always need to be in Kanishta stage also. You might be somewhere between Madhyama and Kanishta, but even among Madhyama Adhikaris, there will be very advanced Madhyama Adhikaris also. So we need to be careful that, oh, he is also Madhyama. So we have to be careful among how do we. So there is a upper limit and a lower limit for each of them. Okay, even great Vaishnavas, they are already in Uttama, but they will never know that they will never exhibit, they will never demonstrate that particular thing. Okay, so we need to be careful. They will be among us, they'll be talking, they'll be doing everything and all, but they'll be at the higher level. Okay, and even Madhyama Adhikars also, there'll be some low level Madhyama Adhikars, then high upper limit or lower limit also. And Kanishta, you can understand. But main point is don't underestimate Kanishta Adhikaris also, because they are already there and they are trying to improve, and we should need to this one. So how do we take association? How do we give association? And how do we exchange association? So in a simple terminology, we take association from Uttamadhikaris, we exchange association with our own peers, our level, and then we give compassion, we give mercy through Acharyas, through Krishnas, this one, to the Kanishta level. So that at any level, all three is important. And what is the main point is, how do I ensure this association is properly utilized? Okay, so let's put that three columns also. Like if you remember when we put for the karma, for what is the other one, for the three gunas we had put. So like that, the same thing we can put it for this Uttama, Madhyama and Kanishta also. So all three will worship. There are some commonalities. Okay, all three will worship the Lord. All three will have their own goals. All three will have their own objectives. But all three goals and objectives will be completely different. Their behavior is also a little different. Bottom line is all are devotees, but objective will change. They have objective. It's not that they don't have objective, but the objective will be different. How do we identify that special objective and goal? Okay, so that is where we need to see. So, for example, everybody are devotees, yes. Everybody are students of Krishna consciousness. Everybody are class among them. But within that, how do we identify these different types of Vaishnavas? Okay, and more importantly, very importantly, what is the purpose of it? It is not that, okay, I'm reading this through as particular tabular format. What is the purpose? Purpose is to ensure our bhakti, our sadhana is properly aligned to it. It's not that, oh, you are doing analysis of, let's do a polling, let's do a survey analysis. We will take some 10 devotees, put this and this category. So those are all not required. All that you have to do is, when I put this understanding, with this understanding, what is the goal or primary thing that I'm taking it for my own sadhana improvement? Okay. Yeah, we can continue. We can practically see from practical experience from there are different types of Vishnavas. Okay. And Prabhupada is also talking about Prakrita Sahajas. This Prakrita Sahajas is usually they are found somewhere in Vrindavan also and other parts of also. They outwardly they will do everything, but internally they may not be in the correct state of mind. Okay, so continue, please. Prabhuji, anybody?
Great, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. From here, the Prakata Sahajas.
We should
Sahajiyas generally chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should be respected within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions from pure devotees. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances. In this Krishna consciousness movement, chance is a chance is given to everyone without discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Everyone is invited to join this movement, sit with us, take prasad, and hear about Krishna. When we see that someone is actually interested in Krishna consciousness and wants to be initiated, we accept him as a disciple for the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the orders of the spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava, and obeisances should be offered unto him. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. The process by which a devotee becomes attached to Krishna is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela 4.192. Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpan, sei kale Krishna tare kare atma sam. At the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders to the service of the Lord, Krishna accepts him to be as good as he himself. Diksha or spiritual initiation is explained in the Bhakti Sandarbha 868 by Srila Jiva Goswami. Divyam jnanam yato dadyat kuryat papasya sankashyam tasmad diksheti sa prokta deshikas kovidah kovidaihi. By Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life. We have seen many practical examples of this, especially in Europe and America. Many students who come to us from rich and respectable families quickly lose all interest in material enjoyment and become very eager to enter into spiritual life. Although they come from very wealthy families, many of them accept living conditions that are not very comfortable. Indeed, for Krishna's sake, they are prepared to accept any living condition as long as they can live in the temple and associate with the Vaishnavas. When one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for initiation by the spiritual master. For the advancement of spiritual life, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.13 prescribes tapasa brahmacharyena shamena cha damena cha. When a person is serious about accepting Diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control of the mind and body. If one is so prepared and is desirous of receiving spiritual enlightenment, Divyam Jnanam, he is fit for being initiated. Divyam Jnanam is technically called Tad Vijnana or knowledge about the Supreme. Tad Vijnanartham Sagurum Eva Bhigachet. When one is interested in the transcendental subject matter of the Absolute Truth, he should be initiated. Such a person should approach a spiritual master in order to take Diksha. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21 also prescribes Tasmad Gurum Prada Prapadyeta Jidnyasu Shreya Uttamam. When one is actually interested in the transcendental science of the absolute truth, he should approach a spiritual master. One should not accept a spiritual master without following his instructions, nor should one accept a spiritual master just to make a fashionable show of spiritual life. One must be jidnyasu, very much inquisitive to learn from the bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one makes should strictly pertain to transcendental science. Jitnyasu Shreya Uttamam. The word Uttamam refers to that which is above material knowledge. Tama means the darkness of this material world, and Ut means transcendental. Generally, people are very interested in inquiring about mundane subject matters, but when one has lost such interest and is simply interested in transcendental subject matters, he is quite fit for being initiated. When one is actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master, and when he seriously engages in the service of the Lord, he should be accepted as Madhyama Adhikari. The chanting of the holy names of Krishna is so sublime that if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, carefully avoiding the 10 offenses, he can certainly be gradually elevated to the point of understanding that there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord Himself. One has reached such an understanding should be very much respected by neophyte devotees. One should know for certain that without chanting the holy name of the Lord offenselessly, one cannot be proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 22.69, it is said, Yahara Komala Shraddha Sekanishta Jana क्रमे क्रमे ते हो भक्त haibe uttam. One whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte, but by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of a first-class devotee. Everyone begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage, but if one properly finishes chanting the prescribed number of rounds of Harinam, he is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttamadhikari. The Krishna consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods while chanting on beads. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of jap, 100,000 names, he is considered fallen, patita. According to his calculation, practically.
Thank you, brother. Maybe we'll just stop here for 2 minutes. Thank you, Ru. I think from Prabhupada's purport, we can clearly understand the different aspects of it, and also importance of Guru accepting an Acharya. So, like when Mataji was asking, when Bona Mataji was asking, how do I slowly coming out? At the time of initiation, slowly, once you become initiated, then you will start having that difference. Now already we are following principles, we are following everything, but initiation is where it will take a different tangent altogether, and then you will see how we can focus more from our spiritual perspective. And then, so that is why Prabhupada is also emphasizing certain devotees will say initiation is not required, certain initiation you can just continue like that, but initiation is where it will give that surrender mentality. So we need to see that how we are able to do that initiation. Prabhupada is giving that importance of taking up that particular shelter of the Acharya.
Yes.
The what is it? The Prajalpa part, I'm sorry, the Prakrita Sahaja part we can understand, and then faith also is Diksha. The Diksha Kale Bhakta Kane. This also at the time of initiation when devotee surrenders accepts. So Prabhupada is giving the different references here. So taking up Diksha, why it is Tad Vidyartam Sa Guru Neva Vichid. So importance of taking shelter of Guru is also emphasized. And then what was that? Yeah, and the Uttama, and then the faith portion is also discussed. Okay, faith is Komal Shraddha for at the lower level of Kanishta level, the faith might be little fragile. They are always so even for example, somebody might be coming there for 10 years. Okay, but that doesn't matter. because their faith is still not fully grown. Okay. So, but for some within 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, their faith will be very strong. So like that, we have to identify what is it. So at the Kanishta level, faith will be little fragile. It might go here and there, and they will still accept scriptures, but they might not go back and forth. Madhyama level, faith is very steady and growing, and they will follow the scriptural injections, and then they will ensure everything is right. Their sadhana is perfect, and they will be very cautious in that, because they might still have that propensity or have that particular thing to fall down also. But at Uttama stage, faith is completely strong, whatever be it, which means what? Even if you get corona, even if you get a lot of problems, you are more inclined to do seva. But Madhyama level, you will have that little bit of imbalanced state. But at the Uttama stage, faith is completely strong. Following the injections, whether it becomes immaterial because you're already directly this one, and then your focus and everything will be correct. So you will never be getting distracted. So like that, we need to identify different aspects of at the Kanishta level, at the Madhyama level, and Uttama level. Okay. So the next section is about how do you identify a devotee. Now we have seen 3 types of devotees, and the Prabhupada is giving references about the 3. How do I identify a devotee? You can continue. When Satyaraja Khan. Satyaraja Khan is a very nice personality in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's giving that understanding. Yeah. We'll try to finish this particular section today. Okay. Yeah. Mataji, anybody?
I can read. When Srila Satyaraj Khan, a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, asked the Lord how a Vaishnava could be recognized, the Lord replied, Prabhu kahe yandra mukhe suni ekabara Krishna nama sehe pujya shrestha sabhakara. If one hears a person say even once the word Krishna, that person should be accepted as the best man out of the common group. Sri Chaitanya Charanamrita Madhya Leela 15.106 Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, Atha eva yandra mukhe eka Krishna nama seyita Vaishnava tariha sanhara sammana. One who is interested in chanting the holy name of Krishna, or who by practice likes to chant Krishna's name, should be accepted as a Vaishnava and offered respects as such, at least within one's mind. Chaitanya Charanamrita Madhya Leela 15.111. One of 4 friends, a famous English musician, has become attracted to chanting the holy names of Krishna. And even in his records, he has several times mentioned the holy name of Krishna. At his home, he offers respect to pictures of Krishna and also to the preachers of Krishna consciousness. In all records, he has a very high estimation for Krishna's name and Krishna's activities. Therefore, we offer respects to him without reservation. For we are actually seeing that this gentleman is advancing gradually in Krishna consciousness. Such a person should always be shown respect. The conclusion is that anyone who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting the holy name should always be respected by Vaishnavas. On the other hand, who have witnessed that some of our contemporaries who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen into the material conception of life because they because I think I
Because they I'll finish it. Because they have failed to chant the holy name of the Lord. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. So this is giving respect. How do we give respect? Respect for the elders, for Uttam Adhikaris, we have to, wherever we see, we have to pay full Dandavat Pranams or Ashtanga Pranams for Mataji or Dandavat Pranams for Prabhujis. So wherever we do at Uttama stage, we have to do. At Madhyama level, it is equal. So Parasparam, you do Alinganam, you do embracing. At the Kanisha stage also, we are supposed to give them respect. It is not that, no, this one. So, but the respect through the mind, because they are still growing, and then still that's one, because Paramatma is in them, because we know some good qualities are in them, we still have to give that respect. So giving respect at the Madhyama level, Uttama level, and Kanishta level. That is also specifically Prabhupada is giving that very important, because they might be fallen, they might be. Prabhupada is also giving who is a Vaishnava? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said everybody who chants the whole universe is Vaishnava. Right? So it's a very broader terminology, but how do I differentiate that? So that is what, who is better, who's better than you? Everybody is better than you. Right? Then only we will be able to grow. Right? Krishna Chaitanya Maharaj, the other day he was mentioning, how do I grow in my Krishna conscious life? I asked this question. He said, you have to be prepared to learn. You have to be prepared to, you have to be willing to learn. So if you have that mentality that yes, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to accept, I'm willing to, then you will have that. So the moment we think I know everything, means willing to seek forgiveness, willing to seek guidance will improve our it. So who is a Vaishnava? Everybody is Vaishnava, and whomsoever chanting the holy name of the Lord. So that is why Mahaprabhu gave a very big definition. But within that, we need to see how do I ensure that particular at the Uttama level, Madhyama level, we have to give that respects. Okay, so some of them will give. We don't know. They will offer praise at their home and then this one. But how do we give that particular understanding? Okay, and some of them, as we saw now, Mahatma. So that Mahatma, some of them will fall down. They may not be able to chant, but that's okay. I mean, so they have there. It is there this one, but we still have to give whatever respect that we have to give. Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yes, but
Prabhu, I mean, for me, I was not like, maybe not that intelligent. So I'm just following and I attracted and I'm continuing. But there are people like maybe very intelligent, very good. And they say, I am I like services. I only do service. I won't chant. I'm not believing and chanting. What we say for them, Prabhuji? Like, they were like very good and they do services like dedicated services also, but they will say I am not believing chanting, I don't have believe chanting, I only have believe on service. How do you
okay.
like
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, at least they're chanting, but it happens, Mataji. Some of them will come and do chant service on law. It's okay. At least when they are doing that service, you try to ask them, can you put some Maha Mantra chanting or put some music and then listen to the service, so that their mind is not I mean, what is it, distracted, and then they're at least it will slowly go into their heart and mind. So all that you ask them to do is okay. If you're not able to chant also, at least during your service period, you sit and listen to this. You just forcefully ask them to put some music, some Hare Krishna mantra or something which will rock and roll. What is that? Madhava's rock band, whatever. At least that let them put and then just listening to it, and then slowly it will change their mind. It's okay. They are not able to this one, but give them. This is one habit. Second one is give them small beats. Oh, you don't have to sit and chant 100 this one and all. At least 10 times you say, at least 5 times you say, and then slowly they will start coming. That's okay.
okay, Prabhuji. Should I continue reading,
I
Prabhuji?
think we can stop here. We'll stop here. Then we'll continue the next portion in the next comments. Okay. We'll have to continue from this particular section. I have noted it down. Then we will continue.
Prabhuji, there was a homework you gave in the last.
Yeah. Identified.
Class.
Yeah. You want to which fourth and third and fourth? Somebody identified?
It's very hard actually to, but then I
Okay.
could just see one that in the NOI 2, in the second sloka, it says that if you have attained the devotional service, then you should not associate. But the third one is about the if if you want to reach to the pure devotional service stage, then you should abandon the association of non-devotees. Second stage is in the second sloka. It is, I mean, as far as I understood, second sloka, they are all saying the same thing about Janasangha and Janasangha Tyagat. The second sloka says that if you have attained devotional service, you should it will be spoiled. But third one is uh, is for attaining the pure devotional service. So that is the difference I could understand probably from the.
Okay. Anybody else tried?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, then I'll give you one more time. Okay, please go through so that it is very clear. It looks like very obvious, but still why it has been repeated again in a different context, different way of putting it. Okay, and Prabhupada is trying to give that attempt also. He's making that point also. Okay.
Prabhuji, can
There's
you
one
repeat the question, please?
the question
Sorry,
is
we were not there on
between,
last
yeah,
Wednesday,
okay.
Thursday.
So the question is in the second sloka and third sloka, there is one commonality. In the second sloka is all about giving up things. Okay. Atyahara, Prayascha, Prajalpa, Niyama Agraha, Janasangasya Laulyam. Janasangasya is the portion where association with worldly money. So you have to give it up. So because it will Shadbir Bhakti Vinashyati. But it's not Pranashyati, it is Vinashyati. It means it will destroy. Obviously, yes, taking association with the worldly minded person, Janasanga. So it will definitely that's direct understanding. Clear? Now the second point is in the third sloka is all about taking up. What should we take up? Utsaha we should have, Nishchaya we should have, Dhairyat we should have, Taddat Karma Pravartana. That whatever activity that is favorable for the association. Okay. And Sangatyaga. Okay. The Sangatyaga and Janasanga. Sangatyaga means what? This Sangatyaga is giving up association of non-devotees. So fourth sloka is all about positive aspect. Third sloka is all about giving up the negative aspect, which we can clearly understand. But why Sangatyaga, this also looks like a negative aspect, but embedded within the positive aspects of Shadbid Bhakti Pradishyati. So one is Vinashyati, second is Pradishyati, which means that will advance. Right? The question is why he could have put it like, it is not in fact Sangatyaga, it is not a Sangha, take devotees, take association of good devotees. Right? You do Utsaha, you have Nishchaya, you have Dhairyat, you do Karma, Taddat Karma Pravanat, and take association of good devotees. He could have put that, right? Sato Vritehe Shadbir Bhakti Upadishyati. But instead of putting that, he oxymoronally or in a way where it is like a different aspect of it, he put a Sangatyaga. The question is why? So
Okay,
both
clear.
looks same, but why Rupa Goswami again emphasizes it as Sangatyaga? You could have put all are positive in the third sloka. You could have put Sangha with great devotees will help you. That is obvious, right? So that is what we can see. So why he has put it that one? That is the question. Prabhupada gives a very subtle. There is no major difference aspect at a higher level, but there is some smaller subtle differences which he is trying to put it in the purport. Okay, so I want you to
Prabhu, can I?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Prabhu, can I time up? I looked at it. Of course, the text 2 talks about the negative aspect. Okay, and then text 3 talk about positive. But the reason is that the emphasis here is about non-devotees, people who are worldly minded. That's common in both. And of course, in summary, he's trying to say that the negative sounding is about giving up bad association is also a positive step. And that's why it's placed in the text tree. And so he's saying not to give up, not to do in text 2 negative, but what to do is to give up as a positive approach in text tree. So that he's giving importance, but not an analysis, trying to put it in an analytical way of itemizing them in text 2 or text 3. That's my observation.
Okay. We'll continue. Nice. Thank you, Prabhu. I think this is also very importantly you brought it out. So we'll continue this discussion. Okay. So Anand, Prabhu, and Mataji, you can try to figure out what is it,
Yes,
and then we will see how we can do it. It's more of our discussion point. Then let's see how it will be. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavats Pranam.
Dandavats Prabhu, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, and the Pita Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.